The new face of the Korean wave, or hallyu, is K-Musical. As we reported on the show before, a Korean original musical may be happy ending even won 6 Tony Awards just this month. Now, the passion and excitement unfolding on the stage is captivating musical fans around the world, including through the K-Musical Festival 2025 that took place in Shanghai recently. We now connect to an organizer of this event, Kang Yongmin, director of the Korean Cultural Center in Shanghai. Hello, Director Kang.
Hello, Director.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. So, first of all, please introduce us to the K-Musical Festival in Shanghai.
Of course, the K-Musical Festival was organized to deepen Korea and China cultural exchange and to offer Chinese audiences a broader understanding of Korean musicals. We presented 5 different productions in collaboration with leading Korean musical production companies, ranging from historical works to musicals for children and youth. Since Shanghai accounts for over half of China's musical ticket sales, it's a particularly meaningful location. We also included exhibitions, experience workshops, and a lecture to allow audiences to engage with K-musicals beyond the stage.
That sounds extremely interesting. Recently, there does seem to be a growing interest in Korean performing arts and content in China. So, what was the atmosphere like at the event?
Traditionally, K-culture in China centered around K-pop and K-dramas. But recently, we've seen growing enthusiasm for musicals, traditional Korean music, and even culinary culture. From March to June, we organized a series of traditional music exhibitions, workshops, and a Korea and China joint performance featuring musicians from the Korea National Gugak Center. These received great attention from Chinese music lovers. We also held a unique event in May, Hangang Ramen Picnic at the Korean Cultural Center, where visitors could enjoy a DIY ramen experience and Korean cooking classes. These efforts illustrate how K-culture is naturally expanding its reach, from entertainment to food, tourism, and lifestyle.
And Korean musical recitation performances, I heard, also took place at this recent event. So, what kind of works were introduced, and were there any mentionable criteria in choosing them?
We chose works that would connect meaningfully with Chinese audiences. We opened with Nameless Junhee, a story of young Koreans fighting to preserve their language under Japanese colonial rule. And Magic Candies, Korea's most beloved family musical, was performed to celebrate International Children's Day. We also featured Demian, a Korean adaptation of Hermann Hesse's novel, ahead of its Chinese language production. Given that much of the local musical audience is young women, we also included Bronte and Anne, both female-driven stories with strong emotional resonance.
I'm sure there were many performances that were praised while they were at this festival, but which performance received the biggest response in your opinion and why?
All 5 received great feedback, but Magic Candies was especially moving. There's a moment when the main character hears his father's unspoken love, and the audience, including children, began singing, 사랑해, 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 사랑해. It means I love you, I love you, I love you, along in Korean. It was a simple but deeply emotional moment that really sharing a powerful moment of emotional connection beyond the language. Demian also left a strong impression in a special duet, a Korean actor as Demian and a Chinese actor as Sinclair sang Connected Dreams together in Korean and Chinese, beautifully symbolizing the harmony between two cultures.
Well, Director Kang, for a moment, I thought you were one of the actors on the stage. Well, it looks like all of these performances are really received in a positive way. But as you mentioned before, not only performances were held at this event, there were other things to do, such as exhibitions and lectures. So could you tell us a little bit more about the rest of the programs there?
We hosted a one-day K-musical workshop titled Becoming a K-musical Actor, where participants learned songs from Korean musicals and sang together with professional actors, an immersive way to experience the heart of K-musical. Additionally, we invited a renowned Korean musical composer for a lecture titled A Stroll Through K-Musician Composition. The talk offered insights into the creative process behind musical storytelling and gave audiences a rare behind-the-scenes look at the art of composition.
And obviously, with the performances and the events and all that is going on, it's nothing without the audience. So how was the local response to the event overall?
The response exceeded our expectations, even though our venue seats 150. Some events received over 1,000 applications. We organized post-show high-touch sessions, and one audience even humorously claimed they would wash their hands after shaking hands with the cast. Workshops were filled with aspiring K-musical fans, and on platforms like Xiaohongshu, China's version of Instagram, we saw many comments like, "I want to visit Daehangno, Korea's Broadway, and hope to see more K-musicals in China." It's clear that genuine interest is growing and quickly.
And finally, Director Kang, what do you think this kind of event means to the cultural exchange between South Korea and China? Also, would you like to share any hopes for the future in terms of bilateral exchanges between the two countries?
By extending K-culture beyond pop and drama into musical theater, the crown jewel of the stage was that we are opening a fresh chapter of Korea and China exchange, especially as maybe happy endings Tony win heightens global interest. Looking ahead, as the APEC summit held in Korea this year and in China next year, we are preparing a series of Korea and China collaborative programs under the theme Cultural Companions, including youth traditional music concerts, a joint folk painting exhibition, and events focusing on art, literature, and webtoons. We hope these efforts will spark a new wave of hallyu centered here in Shanghai.
Cultural companions sounds great. Well, thank you very much, Director Kang, for connecting with us today and for organizing such a meaningful event. And also, of course, for the promotion of Korean musicals, as well as being a bridge in increasing cultural exchange between Korea and China. Thank you once more.
Thank you, Director.
Thank you.
And thank you, Walter, as always. Have a great rest of the week, and we'll see you back here next week.
See you next week.